These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mark Z via PDK. Says, we have been told years ago that the most likely time or easiest time for them to execute this was Saturday night or Sunday night between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It does not have to be then, but I was told that was the easiest time for them technically. Frank 26 Iraq boots on the ground report Firefly saying 9 Iraqi officials arrested for extreme wealth from corruption. Frank says Sudani is going all out. This is amazing. Frank says you're busted. Bruce via Wiser Now says we do have the impression that we're very close to this going. It appears that 2 of our sources agreed on the timing. It appears more likely to be Saturday through Tuesday, the 27th through the 30th, with emphasis on Saturday, the 27th. The timing of this is very close. We do believe that the Saturday holds the best chance for us to be notified between Saturday and Tuesday. So let's see what happens. We are very, very close. All right, Samson article quote, instead of Romansky, Biden nominates an extraordinary new American ambassador to Iraq. All right, Militiaman article quote, instead of Romansky, Biden nominates an extraordinary new American ambassador to Iraq. Militiaman says, interesting timing of this event. The nominee, Tracy Ann Jacobson, held a position in Turkmenistan. Wow, I probably messed that up. Prior to the Tajikistan mission. Article, quote, introducing a new currency is a complex process, one that Turkmenistan completed successfully. Turkmenistan is a model that looks to have been in the cards after she left office. I have a strong feeling that she would be very aware of the introduction to a new currency. Is there a coincidence here? I am not sure, but we will likely find out if it is or not very soon. What has been going on fits the complex model the Turks used. All right, Mark Z via PDK. It is possible that some of the groups may get announcements of expected timing this weekend. I've heard chatter on this from some groups. I really do think we are close. All right, Frank 26 article quote, the central bank monitors the misuse of electronic payment cards outside Iraq. Frank says every day more and more corruption is being removed from the reforms of Iraq. All right, Pimpy says increasing the exchange rate would help them, Iraq. It would increase their foreign asset reserves. You don't want to increase the exchange rate too high, like $3.22, because you can cause the economy to overheat and prices to shoot up. It's one thing to have the cost of goods go up slowly versus a dozen eggs cost you 10 cents. All of a sudden, you wake up the next day, it's like $1.10. This should give you some idea why it is Iraq does not want to reinstate the exchange rate at $3.22. It would crash the economy. Going up in small increments would make sense. All right, Breitling says, I think the dinar is going to revalue. I think it's great. It's a great opportunity. A lot of it has to do with its foreign currency reserves, which is in the US dollar. Iraq's, is one of the biggest in the world. Militiaman says they're basically going to have to make announcements publicly that the currency exchange must be made. They're going to have to say something before too far long. I'm very positive with what we're seeing, things coming together at this time. It's compact. There's just one thing after another. It seems to have a symbiotic relationship to Iraq's monetary / financial banking tax reforms. Pimpy question, say we go international, we're Article 8 compliant, we delete 3 zeros. What does that do for a rate of 22 cents or 40 cents? That's something nobody likes to talk about. Pimpy says there's a scenario out there in which they delete the zeros, a 25,000 turns into a 25 dinars. Then they change the exchange rate. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm saying you got to at least have it in the back of your mind that it's a possibility. All right, Frank 26 says the problem is we don't know if it will be able to participate in the float. We don't know how much time they're going to give us to turn in the 3-0 notes. Let's see what happens. All right, Bruce via Wiser Now. I know that rates on the dinar and the dong specifically are populating on the back screen. The Redemption Center screens for dinar and dong were $4 to $5 higher on each currency just on the front screens. All right, Frank 26. In my opinion, a lot of promises were made by Sudani in Davos. Today, Sudani uses more new words to describe to the citizens that the time to wait for the reinstatement of their currency and new exchange rate is shorter than it's ever been before. It's shorter than a step stool with the legs of a corgi dog. These are exciting times. Pimpy lastly says 90% of Iraq's exports are in oil. Remember that Iraq wants to be competitive in the trade market. Increases in their exchange rate would cause the items they're exporting to go up in cost. Since 90% of the exports is oil, this is different. An increase in Iraq's exchange rate could lead to a stronger Iraqi dinar relative to other currencies. This would mean for each unit of oil sold, Iraq would receive more foreign currency.